Hello, Uggies worldwide. I'm Dave Casler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG, here with another episode of Ask Dave. Today we're going to look at wattmeters. In fact, we're going to look at three at a time. I have a wattmeter, an old one from MFJ, but you can pick it up under a number of brand names. I've got a Daiwa that measures both forward and reverse power, and I have a Bird Model 43, and the plug-in that I have for it is the 100 to 250 megahertz, okay? So let's take a look at these because I've got them in series with the dummy load. And the idea is to see if they all measure the same power or close to the same power. So let's take a look at these. This one right here is the MFJ 849. Now this is available from a number of other vendors that you can get to on Amazon. I got mine from MFJ. This is a Daiwa SWR and power meter. It's a cross needle meter and it's set on 20 watts max right now. Now you can plug this in and get a light, but that's all that the light does for you. The rest of it is done just with the signal itself. This is a Bird Model 43 watt meter, brand new. It's got end connectors on it, so I've got adapters here to get it down to BNC. And you measure the forward power this way. Then you measure the reflected power this way, okay? And then you compute from that either the SWR directly or the reflection coefficient. This right here is our Chelegance J-Load that we reviewed in a video yesterday, okay? Now this is a radio I have not reviewed yet. This is the UV5R Mini from Baofeng, okay? And it's on. As you can see right there, this is in the middle of the 2 meter band, okay? Now I'm going to transmit. None of these watt meters should absorb a significant amount of power. All the power should go through all three to the dummy load where it is dissipated, okay? So I'm going to press on this. It's the top button for the top part. We get 3.67 watts here. And if we look carefully at this, it's somewhat above 3, but not to 3.5, but it is above 3. So this meter's a little stingy. And then the Bird watt meter, the middle point is 2.5, 3, 3.5, about 3.7. So this one and this one almost completely agree. And so 3 watt meters, this is a titch stingy, okay? It's on the 20 watt scale. Right there. And this right here is on the 25 watt scale, which is the top set of numbers, okay? And then this right here automatically switches between them. So, what have we learned? We've learned that you can send a signal through a watt meter without losing any appreciable part of it, okay? And these are wired in series with short cables. And we've discovered this one's a little stingy in terms of telling you the number of watts. This and this agree almost completely, although this is an analog meter and this is a digital meter. Now, if we look at the SWR, you would think with the dummy load, we ought to have about a 1-to-1 SWR, and that's what this says right here. This one down here, the cross needle for the reflected power, which is way down there, barely moves. Now, I'm going to switch this way to measure the reflected power, and there's a little tiny titch. Not enough to register on this meter, 0 reflected power. See, this does move, but it barely moves. This here does move, but it barely moves, okay? So we have a nice, very close to 1-to-1 SWR for the entire setup. So no, we're not getting crazy reflections between meters and so on and so forth. Okay, now this meter is available. It's rather expensive for what you get. You're getting just a SWR meter, and it tells you the forward power, the reflected power, and the SWR, which it computes automatically for you. This has an HF and a VHF setting right here, okay? We have this digital from MFJ. It'll do either HF or VHF, and it has sets of contacts on the back. These are for HF, these are for VHF. Now this does have to be plugged in to work. If you turn it off, it goes completely off, okay? This one right here, if you plug it in, you get a backlight on the meter, which is sometimes kind of nice. There's no switch for that. Okay, even when it's off, it's got that backlight, okay? So, get that power right there, a little bit over 3. And it's just an LED. You can leave that on all the time if you want to. This is 20 watts, 200 watts, or off, okay? And then this is a selection for peak power or average power. This right here just tells you what's going through, and I have it set for reverse. Now we'll set for forward power, and we get the same reading that we got before. This is an instrument that's been out and about for 80 years, maybe more, 90 years. Very nice little meter, still made new. You can get them new. This is the so-called element, which is sold separately. You can read forward power and reverse power, okay? You'll have to do the calculation by hand. Why is this still out in the digital age? Well, people like it. They just like it. These little inserts are readily available. You can buy them new for a pretty high price, or you can buy them on eBay, places like that. Okay, so there, we've looked at the watt meters. All right, now we looked at the MFJ meter in a previous video, but these have not yet been reviewed. This one apparently is just a bit stingy on the power. This one right here is, I wouldn't call this a major laboratory grade instrument. It's a minor laboratory grade instrument. It's definitely at a level above these right here. This is the kind of thing you would find used in laboratories around the world to find out what the power is. And I made up some BNC cables and played with connectors here to get them all come together. The reason I'm thinking this is working in this configuration is because even here there's no reflected power off of the dummy load. Dummy load's already been reviewed. And this one right here seems to work okay. Like I said, it's a bit stingy. And then this one I previously reviewed. I will in a future video review the little UV5R Mini, which I picked up at Dayton. So, if you have any questions about these things, be sure to leave them in the comments, or, better yet, send them to askdave@arrl.org. Okay? So, there you have it. Until we next meet, 73.